Hi, my name is Michaela Clasaris, and this is my presentation about why the legal drinking age should not be 18. There's many reasons that people believe that the drinking age should be 18. With all of those reasons, there's even more reasons, and a lot of studies to back the reason of why 18 should not be the legal drinking age. In this presentation, I hope to provide reasonable data why the legal drinking age should not be 18. There is no reason to provide a child or a brand new adult um, with alcohol in an unlimited amount of that. Most people at the age of 18, their brains are not fully developed. This is one of the largest reasons why we should not be changing the legal drinking age to 18 from 21. Many studies have been conducted around this and why lowering the drinking age would not be a good decision. This is backed by the CDC, the National Organization for Addiction, and many other organizations that have done studies about this specific topic. One of the biggest reasons is the health risks that are around the legal drinking age. At 18, an excessive amount of drinking can cause many health issues, many physical issues. Around 4,000 people under the age of 21 every year die from excessive drinking, whether it be from liver failure, um, accidents from excess amounts of alcohol being consumed. Many of the 18-year-olds or people under 21 are not understanding the risks that are around changing the legal drinking age and understanding the health risks that are with that. Like I said earlier, alcohol is not good for brain development. Um, Alcohol is a neurotoxin and can kill brain cells. So if your brain is not fully developed and you're giving it these neurotoxins, it can hinder development and future growth. So some people's brains may be stunted and not continue to develop the way it should if they do not have or if they consume too much alcohol. There's many organizations that back this, from the Academy of Pediatricians, the National Prevention Council, National Academy of Sciences. All of these organizations and many more have done studies about the difference between 18 and 21 and why this is bad for development, why it's bad for accidents, and it's just not leading to responsible drinking. One of the biggest things that gets brought up about why the legal drinking age should be lowered to 18 is for social purposes. There's really no reason for social purposes for this to be accepted. There are other ways to mingle, there's other ways to make friends. Drinking is not necessarily the safest way. Being young and being introduced to alcohol and not being around people that you trust can be very risky and can lead people down the wrong paths. Another reason for why starting younger is a bad idea is that it's actually leading to addictions earlier on and lasting effects of addiction. So if someone is drinking at 18 and they start drinking every single day, it's going to cause more long-term effects on their kidneys, on their liver, um, and so it could shorten their lifespan. So that is another big reason why 18 is not the answer. I hope during this presentation that you've taken some of the information that I've discussed and have been able to really think about why the health risks that are involved with changing the legal drinking age to 18 from 21, why it wouldn't be safe. If you could think about yourself at 18, I know that there's a lot of reasons that you could come up with of, maybe I wasn't as responsible at 18 as I was at 21. So I encourage you to think about that and just think about the lasting effects that we have of adding those few years onto um, the legal drinking age and the effects that it'll have long term on all the people who are then able to drink at 18 and put those neurotoxins into their body. Thank you.
Do you think there's an issue with the legal voting age being 18 versus the legal drinking age being 21?
I personally don't believe there's a huge issue there. I think that this is kind of something that people that want the legal drinking age to be 18, that they kind of use as their support, is that at 18 you're able to do all these things, you have all these rights, and you're technically an adult. But when you think about these decisions, so like being able to drink at a younger age can have a personal and social kind of harm on like these decisions that you make when you're drunk can harm other individuals, unlike getting married and doing other things when you're 18. Like voting doesn't really hurt anyone, and it kind of gives them a sense of adulthood, which is nice. I think that if anything, they could raise the voting age to 21 just because, like we talked about in both of ours, the brain development kind of isn't fully there until their mid 20s. So, if anything, I could see them raising that instead of lowering the drinking age.
No, I completely agree. I think that, it's a lot about that brain development and like not having the, like the neurotoxins and stuff that are in alcohol that can mess with like your decision making. So I definitely think that that's I think a lot of people's biggest issue with changing the drinking age there.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, so do you think if there were more accessible, like responsible drinking education and prevention programs, like you talked about, do you think this would positively impact the younger generations or like have more of a negative impact?
I could see it going both ways, but like my personal hopes is that it would positively impact. Like I remember growing up, going to school, like I don't think I know we had like the DARE program, but that was more, I feel like, drug based rather
Yeah,
than alcohol based from like what I remember. And I think it would be really important to see because alcoholism is a disease. A lot of people get harmed from it. So many people die each year from alcohol related incidents that I think it would be really important to kind of focus more on that, especially when you are turning 18, because a lot of individuals are more likely going to drink, especially
right.
with peer pressure, just trying to fit in socially. I think that there could be a positive impact to maybe bring awareness to what your liver and kidneys will look like if you're drinking for this long, or what will happen like when you're drunk and driving, and kind of like the impaired judgment. I hope that it would help. It kind of scares some people to be like, oh crap, like I don't want to do that at that age.
Right.
But kind of hard when your peers are doing it. You go to parties, you go to hangouts. It's kind of cool, but I think maybe showing all the bad sides of it can kind of help bring
Yeah.
awareness to
Well,
what
and like I
can
don't know about you, but like when I was a kid, we did the DARE program, but it was um when we were younger. Like I remember doing it when I
Right.
was like in middle school, but like we never talked about it when I was a senior, when things were like really,
Yeah.
like you're getting ready to move out, you're going to college and like all those things. And like we'd never really touched on it again. And I think
Yeah.
that probably would be really important to have that conversation again, when
Yes.
it actually is happening in real life.
Yeah. I agree. I don't remember it either. And I know like there's like those goggles that you can put on to see like what it's like when you're driving. Like that is something that everyone could do with and do a
Right.
class on of like this is what it looks like if you were making these decisions under the influence at especially at this age. And like there's people that then are that age and they get in an accident and they just ruined their life and another person's life. And I think that
Right.
bringing more awareness to that could hopefully positively impact the younger generation that thinks it's cool and want to fit
Yeah,
in. But
I agree. I think that's a good point. I think there's a lot more positive impacts than negative. I think having those discussions and like I don't know, even in like your first few years of college, like having those discussions and like maybe making it like a required course or something,
yeah,
like responsibility class of, this
Yeah.
is what can happen if you make certain decisions. And
Yeah, because that is a big age. Like you leave your
Mhm.
parents' house and you're all alone and everyone's
Right.
doing it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't make it the best decision. you know,
Yeah. No, that
you're
would
kind
be
of at the
smart
mercy of
to
your peers. Yeah.
yeah.
Hi, all. My name is Ellie Lassard, and my personal belief is that the alcohol legal drinking age should stay at the age of 21. Each year, alcohol is responsible for thousands of individuals' deaths. The current drinking age in the United States is the age of 21, and this was passed by the National Minimum Drinking Age Act in 1984. The debate over lowering the drinking age in the United States centers on whether adults should have the right to drink at 18. Many individuals argue that the current legal drinking age at 21 helps reduce alcohol-related accidents, promotes health, and supports brain development during their adolescent years. I personally believe that the legal drinking age should not be lowered to 18 because the human brain is not fully developed at that age. Lowering this could increase alcohol-related accidents and deaths. If we are maintaining the current age limit, it's going to encourage healthier, more responsible drinking behaviors. The human brain continues to develop well into a person's mid-20s, making the age of 18 a really unsafe age for alcohol consumption. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism suggests that alcohol use at a young age can negatively impact the brain development, specifically in the areas that are responsible for decision making. The lack of full brain development at 18 means individuals may be more prone to risky behavior like binge drinking and impaired judgment. There is a correlation between younger drinking ages and higher rates of alcohol-related accidents, including drunk driving, violence, and health problems. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention states about 4,000 people under the age of 21 in the United States die each year from alcohol consumption. Lowering the drinking age would likely reverse these positive gains that the United States has made over the past few years, as younger individuals are less equipped to handle alcohol responsibly. Maintaining the drinking age at 21 encourages more responsible drinkers and allows for young adults to mature before making harmful decisions. The current drinking age helps delay alcohol use until individuals also have a greater awareness of all of its negative consequences that it can put on a human body. There are many surrounding countries that have higher rates of alcohol-related incidents. Studies show that Europe has a lower drinking age of 18, and that has led to higher rates of binge drinking and health-related incidents. Maintaining the age at 21 helps prevent the normalization of alcohol use at a younger age, fostering a more responsible drinking culture. The drinking age of 21 doesn't align to a lot of age-related laws in the United States. That's what a lot of individuals may argue, that since at the age of 18, individuals are able to vote, they're able to drive, enlist in the military, get married, and so on, that they should be considered an adult and be able to drink. These decisions, though, don't carry the same immediate public and personal health risks as alcohol consumption does. Alcohol can lead to more impulsive, risky behavior in comparison to the other age-related laws. 21 is a way more appropriate age for alcohol consumption, given the significant health risks associated with early age drinking. In conclusion, the legal drinking age should remain at the age of 21 because it protects public and personal health, accounts for the underdeveloped part of the brain, and prevents alcohol-related accidents and harms. The debate over lowering the drinking age involves concerns about brain development, alcohol-related harm, responsible drinking, and legal consistency. Instead of reducing the drinking age, we should come together as United States and focus more on the education and prevention that helps young adults make informed decisions when it comes to alcohol use. Thank you.
Okay. Michaela, do you believe that there are any pros to lowering the drinking age to 18? I know that in your presentation you stated that there are some social aspects that play a part in underage drinking.
Yeah, I think that the social aspect, I think, is what most people kind of hang their hat on with it. Most people go to college and they decide to, the younger kids, like the freshmen, can't drink while the older kids can, and there's a lot of peer pressure there. And so a lot of them fall into the social, okay, if I drink, then I'll fit in. Um, but I really don't think that that's a great case. The thing that's the biggest for me is the health reasons of not doing it. I just don't think it's smart to mess with your brain chemicals, for the rest of your life. That's a really big decision to be making when you really don't fully understand all of the effects that it can have on your body for the rest of your life. And I just don't think that anything really sways me more towards it because it's just, I think there's a reason that we've said it this way. All the studies that have been done, I just don't see a lot of positives coming from lowering it, if any. I know that, people want to fit in socially, but maybe if you're not being accepted socially because you're not drinking, maybe it's time to find some new friends. I don't know. That's just kind of my
Yeah.
philosophy, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think
I
so.
completely agree. It's kind of hard to debate especially when you bring in like the science and the health
Hmm.
into it. It kind of shows like there really are no benefits to doing it at such a young age. But there are people that believe like just because other countries or their peers are doing it, that it should be something good. But that
Right.
kind of goes into my next question was why do you think that other countries' drinking age is 18? And do you think that maybe this debate would even be going on in the United States to lower it to 18 if other countries were all 21?
Right. I don't know. I think a lot of other countries, like, things are different everywhere. In other countries, like the legal driving age is different. Um, and I think that it's just kind of how things have been for a long time. And I hate this excuse, but I think it's a lot of like, it's always been this way, so this is just what we continue to do.
Mhm.
And so I think it's just kind of an old school mentality of like, um, we've always drank at 18, and like 18 is the legal adult in those countries, and they're a little bit more like of a wash. So, you drive, you vote, alcohol, whatever, all of those things in other countries at 18. It's like there's no separation like we have here. It's like you get your license at 16, you can vote at 18, and then you can buy alcohol at 21. It's not like a progressive thing. It's just like all at once. They do it all at once. Um, I don't know if this is the best choice just because that's a lot of responsibility all at one time.
Yeah.
You're taking on a lot of responsibility all while you're trying to like move out of mom and dad's house. And that just seems like kind of in my mind, a situation for disaster because you're
Yeah.
trying to be an adult while also balancing all these other things. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I like that you brought that up because that's a point I didn't really think about is how like other countries like, oh, you're 18, like there you go, like good luck
Yeah.
out there. And I like that you brought up how the United States kind of has like tiers almost. Like at 14, you
Mhm.
get your permit. At 16, you can drive. 18, you can vote. 21, like it's just the way it goes to, I feel like trying to set us up for success in just a
Right.
different way. And like you stated, yeah, the countries probably think like the mentality like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But they're also could not be looking at like the personal health that it does to a young person. I mean, in the risks and the impaired judgment that comes along with it. But
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point as well.